This is a wild one. When Jacob dumps his girlfriend after catching her cheating on him, she does everything she can to get him back. She completely loses her mind to the point where she tries to kill him and his new girlfriend.
My name is Jacob, and this story is about my psycho ex, Alex, and how she tried to kill me with fireworks. We met during my first year of university. We bonded over our mutual taste in music. I was really into the metal scene at the time, and she was wearing a tee from a band I had seen only the week before. I struck up a conversation, and it turns out we were at the same gig together. We started hanging out and going to shows together, and eventually started dating. Everything seemed perfect, and I couldn't have been happier. We had been together for around 6 months when things went south for our relationship. We went to a friend's house party, and it was huge, like the out-of-control college parties you see in the movies. There was a lot of alcohol, and Alex was really going for it. She'd had shots of tequila before we left with one of her girlfriends. They were both already pretty drunk by the time we got to the party. We got to the party and immediately went in separate directions. I had heaps of friends there that I hadn't seen in ages, so I went to find them and catch up, and Alex saw her friends and ditched me. Throughout the night, I saw her around the house, and every now and then we would have a quick kiss before getting distracted and separating again. I was getting annoyed because there was this one guy who was pretty much orbiting Alex and getting a little handsy. He kept following her around and giving her tequila shots. His name was Todd, and he was a jerk who was too handsome for his own good. Todd had a reputation of being an F-boy, so you can probably understand why I was getting freaked out about him hanging around my girl. I tried to keep an eye on Alex and make sure Todd wasn't doing anything, but I got sucked into kicking some guys' asses at Mario Kart for about an hour. I'm not bragging or anything, but I'm totally the king of that game. Anyway, when I finally eventually lost, I looked for Alex. She wasn't anywhere. The friend she came with told me. She went for a walk down the street. With Todd. Crap. I followed the direction her friend said they went. Didn't have to go far. I saw a car parked on the street that was rocking back and forth. I looked in the window and saw Todd in the back seat with my girlfriend's head bobbing up and down in his lap. I smacked on the window, and she looked up at me, and it took her a while to focus through her drunkenness. She swore when she finally recognized me, and I yelled at her that we were done and to find another way home. I didn't go back to the party. Instead, I walked to the end of the street, called an Uber, and cried in the back seat all the way home. Super awkward for the driver. The following days were a blur. I received a flood of text messages and voicemails from Alex begging for forgiveness and promising that it was a mistake. I ignored them all and I blocked her on everything. It happened a couple times where Alex stood outside my workplace and would wait for me to finish and try to talk to me when I walked back to my car. I ignored her and pretended she wasn't there and drove away with her crying her eyes out in the middle of the car park. She started writing me long, rambling letters and putting them in my letterbox, confessing her undying love and insisting that we were meant to be together. I continued to ignore her, hoping she would eventually get the message and move on with her life. Alex's obsession with me grew stronger. She started showing up at social events I attended, always finding a way to insert herself into my life. My friends had to start stepping in to get her to leave, and I began to fear for my safety and sanity. She was like a shadow, always lurking in the background, waiting for a chance to get close to me. The worst part was when she broke into my unit. I came home one evening to find her sitting on my couch, a manic look in her eyes. She claimed she just wanted to see me. I called the police and they escorted her out, warning her to stay away from me. I have no freaking idea how she even got in. I'm in a set of 4 units, and mine is on the 2nd floor. I always make sure my doors and windows are locked when I go out because other places in my neighborhood have been broken into. Alex's obsession escalated, and so did her attempts to win me back. I would wake up in the middle of the night to find flowers and gifts on my doorstep, accompanied by handwritten notes professing her love. It was becoming a living nightmare, and I didn't know how to escape it. This continued for months. I'd completely moved on from her and started dating again. There was one girl, Kelly, who I really connected with, and we'd gone out a couple of times. After taking Kelly to dinner and a movie, I brought her back to my unit to stay the night. We watched Netflix, had some fun, and fell asleep together. Around midnight, we were woken up by screaming from outside. Alex was underneath my bedroom window, obviously drunk out of her mind, yelling nonsense up at me and swearing about the bitch I had with me. The frightening thing is, she knew Kelly's full name and was making threats towards her. I have no idea how she knew all these details about Kelly and that she was with me that night. Kelly was totally freaked out, and I told her to get away from the window so Alex couldn't see her and to call the cops. I told Alex the police were coming, but she continued screaming. Neighbors were looking out their windows to see what was happening. Next thing I know, Alex had something in her hands aimed at me. She lit the thing with a lighter. There were a few sparks, and a goddamned firework launched directly at my head and whizzed past my face. A deafening explosion shook the unit, and all I could see was bright color, sparks, and fire. Thankfully, nothing had caught fire in my room, and Kelly was in the kitchen, still on the phone to the police. I looked back out the window, and Alex was gone. I took over the call to the cops, explained how my demented psycho ex-girlfriend was shooting fireworks through my window, and gave them all her details. It didn't take them long to find Alex. They arrested her and charged her with arson and attempted murder. She will face court in the next month and will most likely end up in prison. I never thought Alex had that level of crazy in her. She seemed like a normal 22-year-old girl when we were dating. I'm actually grateful to Todd for sticking his dick in her, because without him, I probably would never have found out that Alex was batshit insane. Could you imagine if I had continued to date her and ended up marrying her? I dodged a bullet there, and a firework. I am a bit bummed, though, about Kelly. After that night, she never spoke to me again. But I can't blame her, really. I wouldn't hang out with someone whose crazy psycho ex was trying to kill me.
That's an absolutely insane story. Thanks for sharing, Jacob. I can't believe how obsessed Alex got after you broke up with her. She made the decision to suck another guy's dick, so what was she expecting you to do when you caught her? Join in? Hell to the no. You did the right thing by breaking up with her, and it's a good thing, too. She obviously has some major mental issues, and you're better off not having to deal with all of that. What did you guys think of Jacob's story? Insane, right? Has anything like that happened to you? What's the craziest thing an ex has ever done to try and get you back? Leave your comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.